Hello, hello. Welcome to Happiness is a Healthier Habit with me, your nutrition coach. My name is Jackie Poole, and here on the show, we talk about mom life, weight loss, habits, and literally everything in between. Welcome to the show. If this is the first time you're listening, let me tell you, I am so glad that you're here. I hope that I can inspire you and help you in any way possible. So thank you for being here. And we are only a few days away from Thanksgiving. And to be honest, I am so excited because we're doing something different. If you haven't heard me before, we are going camping, and I'm praying that this weather is good for us. We went camping once, I think when my youngest was 6 months, in March, and oh my God, worst camping trip. It was so cold at night with a 6-monther. We did not sleep at all, and we were like buying heaters and all of these things, and it didn't work. It was not a good time. It was definitely something that we'll remember. And it was something that we won't do again. So we're praying that the weather is good for us, because November is usually cold, but it's not that cold. So we'll see. Texas is weird. So the weather fluctuates all the time. So we can never get it right. So hopefully it goes well for us. I do have an announcement before I begin today's episode, and I just want to remind you that next year I am having free coaching calls to people who really want to make changes, don't know where to start, are having all the issues. They seem to have a hard time losing the weight. They feel tired all the time. And I really want to help and give out to the community. And the link is going to be in the show notes. It's 2024 applications on my website. And please, if you think of somebody that might need help or maybe needs that little push and is scared to try something different, to give themselves a try, this will be perfect for them because it's going to be at no cost to them. All they have to do is put in the work. So you know somebody, send it to them. If that's you, I am here to help you. So I can't wait to get started. And that's just one of my New Year resolutions, is to help as many people as I can. So please help me do that, and let's get those applications filled out. On another note, let's get started. So today's episode came about because I usually try to go to events here and there when I have the time, and it just kind of rolls with my husband's work schedule and it lands perfectly, and I get to go to some of these events. And when I've gone, it's usually pretty, college girls, younger girls, but I enjoy being around them. They're such a vibe, and they make me feel so comfortable in all of these groups that I've been going and joining. And I'm in this dance club too, which is so awesome. I've never done like any traditional dancing like jazz or hip hop or anything like that, but I do like dancing. So going out to one of these groups, I met some people that I actually follow on Instagram, and that was pretty cool and neat to actually get to meet random people that you follow and support and cheer from the sidelines. So that was pretty neat. But one of the questions to get the event kicked off and started was just some icebreakers, right? And one of the icebreakers was, if you had a role model, and it was just something that blew me away because, as you know, my mom to me is my biggest role model. She, has worked hard and is building such a legacy, not only for her, but for my kids. My kids are going to reap the benefits of all the work that she's been doing, and how much self-awareness and humility and positivity she brings to us. And not only we've seen just so much growth in her, that there is no doubt about it that she is my role model. And when we were asked that question, I was in a group of maybe like 6 or 7 girls, and all of them were like, I don't really have one. And that made me feel so down and bummed a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It was just like, what? Like, you don't have a role model? Like, I mean, I even remember like my fifth grade teachers, like I love them. They're such great teachers. Back in the day, teaching was so different. And I would stay after school and help my fifth grade teacher. And I would stay after school to help my sixth grade teacher. School was so different back then. And so those people are still types of role models for me. And sometimes, we live in our own world and you don't know how good you had it when these individuals don't even have a person that they can call a role model. And with that being said, I do want to say that you can be your own role model. Be that example for someone else. Be the example for your family, for your friends, for your close circle. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone. You can be that someone. And not to sound kind of like narcissist, right? But at the same time, if you've never had the support, like some of these girls, were saying, we're not close with my mom, I've distanced myself, I'm here alone, to me, that's so brave to do. I don't think I could ever have moved to a brand new city, kind of ditch my family because, they weren't the family for me. And I'm just creating my own world and existence here on my own and trying to make it. That to me is a role model. And maybe that's why they didn't say themselves, but it's just a thought. If you don't have somebody that's supporting you, that you've looked up to, some parents are not in someone's life either. Be that someone, maybe for your kids, for your family, like I mentioned earlier. Often what we want is the best for our loved ones, and in our surroundings, it can be to where we don't know if we're doing the right decisions, if we're making the right moves, but to be your own role model, you have to there's certain things that you have to have, right? There's values that you may look up to. You have to be set on your beliefs about yourself. And that might be beliefs that you're capable of doing things, beliefs not necessarily religious, right? But beliefs as far as like, I'm a kind person, I want to do good in this world, I want to make an impact in this world. And that's what a role model does. They want to make changes in what we're currently seeing in our day lives. And part of those values is also loving yourself, and that can be very hard for certain individuals. As a mom, I think I've learned so many things, and I want to show some of the things that I value and some of the things that, kind of changed my view becoming a mom. Because when you're just you, nothing against, individuals who don't want to have kids or don't have kids yet, things are viewed very differently because it's not just you anymore. It's like, if I don't eat, that's fine because my kids need to eat, right? Kind of thing. And so when you become a mom, you're able to overcome obstacles no matter what they may be. I've learned that giving and being selfish, not being selfish, it's way better than just taking in. It's always better to give and making my kids smile and be happy and teaching them all the things that I wish I knew when I grew up. And so we also, to be that role model, you want to share with others that you're committed to them. You're committed to for them to have a better life. And this is not only to your kids, this could be to your partner. You can be a role model to them, being present and just realizing that it doesn't matter what what you're doing, as long as you're bringing something into the table that is not necessarily money or, things, but those values of humility and love and kindness and support, and that showing that you care about them, because that makes such a huge difference. And to learn that you have a purpose bigger than just you makes you, or have the ability to inspire others as well. And that's what makes a really good role model. It starts with you. It starts with you and yourself, and you want to show the world who you are and be proud of who you are, because sometimes there's individuals that have a facade. They have like a presentation of who they are in the world, but some of their actions behind closed doors, behind, in their home where they can't be seen, are a completely different person. And we see that a lot, right? There's a saying in Spanish, you don't know somebody until you've really lived with them. And it's totally true. And I've definitely seen that closely, because, you think you have somebody's support. You think we see this person, we see them all, oh, they are so nice, they seem so sweet, they're so caring. And then you see them do something unexpectedly, and it changes your whole view and outlook on who they are. So be the person you are anywhere you go, and that's going to make an impact. There's no one else in this whole world like you, and that makes you unique. But embracing your flaws, that you're not perfect, but finding that purpose and acting on that purpose makes you the role model. And you might not be wanting to be a role model, but even focusing on these things and impacting in somebody's life. And you never know who somebody's going to come and they're going to tell you, man, I saw you do this and it wanted me to go out and give, right? It's like that line effect. Like if people are donating, like, oh, I bought the person behind me at Starbucks a coffee, and then the person next to me that goes up, they're like, oh, your Starbucks coffee got paid, and then that person pays it forward to the next person. Like, isn't that such a good day? Like, oh my God, I got my coffee paid. Just little things like that make you not only a individual that cares about giving, because you're not focusing like, oh, I want to be a role model, that's my goal, and it's totally fine and dandy. But when it comes to being just genuinely trying to make the world a better place without giving yourself that title, it's gonna make a huge difference. And for those of you who don't seem to have a role model, I just want to make this very clear. Be the role model you wanted when you were younger, and really act on that. And you never know, especially now, who's gonna pay close attention to you, who's watching, who's looking, because it does make a difference in how we are and how we grow up and how we impact others and make this world a better place. So today's just a light warming message, because I just want to remind you, if you don't have a role model, be your own damn role model. Be better, make the world a better place, and you can do it by doing all of these things. So I hope today's message was great for you to hear, maybe something that you needed to hear or you haven't heard before. I know I felt like it was something that I needed to speak on, because it made me so, not upset, but it just made me think, like, that's fine if you don't have a role model, but then be the person that you wanted to see when you were growing up, or that you needed when you were growing up, right? That support, that person that loved, and all of those things. So I feel like the holidays are perfect for this message. And I'm so glad that you joined me today. Thank you so much. And again, if there's something that you want to me speak on or talk about, or if there's anybody that wants to join me on an episode, I'd be happy to have you on. I can't wait for next episode, and we will talk later. Bye.